Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this is Wine Library TV, and this is a fantastic day. We've got 4 wonderful wines here today that we're going to taste, and I'm going to get to them in a second. Couple things I want to talk about. First and foremost, I need all people who have Vayniac t-shirts to take a picture with a Vayniac t-shirt on and send them in. We're going to send them to Chris Mott. I'm going to put the email address right over here. So please, or is that right? Is that how it is? Yeah. So please, I need those ASAP. We need them by Monday at noon. Please send in your pictures with your Vayniac t-shirt in. Number 2, for next Wednesday, I need people to make a video. Please do that right away. I need all videos for Wine Library TV to be sent in to Chris as well. So 2 things, Monday and Wednesday. We'll see how many can submit. Please, anybody can do it. It'd be really appreciated. Athletic. Many of you have been dissing me, and I'll tell you how. Yesterday, a lot of people were like, surprisingly, shockingly, astonishingly, that I was picking up the glass so easily. Shockingly athletic was brought up at least 4 times. To you, my friends, I challenge you. Gary Vaynerchuk one-on-one basketball, tennis, whatever you want to do. I'm a little more athletic than you think. As a matter of fact, something really has spurred up. I'm thinking about starting a Wine Library TV basketball league this summer. So, if you're interested, please mention in the comments. I want to see how many people I can get interested. It's going to be in the New York, New Jersey area. So, mainly in Jersey, Bergen County, this area of Springfield, and maybe in the city as well. If you're interested, let me know. Could be something pretty rad. Let's taste some wine. Today's theme is 3 wines that you may be familiar with that we did yesterday. We're going to see how much, if anything, yesterday's weather had on the impact, because it was a little nip. Also, somebody said, you know, I was like, that might be a little bit boring because I really did give my tasting notes even though it was freezing yesterday. So I decided to do something that a lot of people have been asking me for, which is show wine today that I've fallen in love with in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I have one special wine here as well that I've already tasted very recently and I'm very high on, and we'll talk about that as well. So let's get right into it, shall we? Molly Duker, 2005, 2 Left Feet. 94 points Parker, 23 US dollars, and a monster, 15.5 alcohol. Let's get into this. Yesterday was a lot of fun when we had the Molly Duker. It was in the beginning. I was still somewhat warm. Really nice color, and right off the bat, the nose is really taking over the entire room. This is New World Fruit Bomb all the way. Again, tons of candied licorice, Kool-Aid on the nose, a lot of cherry pop, all that New World love that you get. These wines are super hot. Everybody's looking for the Molly Duker wines. We were getting up about 3-4 months ago. We were getting over 1,000 email requests per week on this wine and the other wines, Carnival Love and all the other wines within the Molly Duker family. So, really hot, great color. You know, like much of wine, and let's take half a step back, Aaron. Can I take a half a step back? Much of wine is personal preference, all of it actually, but I'll code the wine company line. Much of it is personal preference and mood and things you're into. This wine is very specific. A lot of new drinkers will love this wine because the sugar levels, there's so much fruit. It's delicious. However, this is the kind of wine that I refer to as fake. This can be over the top for a lot of people. This is what we categorize as a New World wine. A lot of fruit-driven, over the top, high alcohol contents, fruit bomb, approachable young, explosive, explodes in your mouth, blows off your head, makes you go into a panic. I mean, these are humongous wines that confuse you. You know, it's like taking you and throwing you off a mountain, but you land on your feet and you're fine. That's what sometimes a fruit wine can do for you. And so for me, when it's a little too fake, when the flavors taste artificial, and again, the thing I love to use is, you know, like a fruit punch, like let's say cherry juice, like real extract, like you just taste, or high C grape versus real grape juice that you make, out of grapes. I mean, there's a clear cut difference. It's USA'd, as I like to call it sometimes. And so this wine has that. It's a little too over the top for me. It's almost lost some of its level of wine characteristics and becomes a beverage of sorts. Now, there is a time and place for this. Cold. It was pretty cool. I still think because of the quality of the fruit and the enjoyment of the experience and the fact that this is a style and you've got to rate it on its style, that this is a 91 plus, 91 point wine. It's nice. I like it. It's delicious, but it should really consider, and we should really start considering these New World wines. Not all of them, but the ones that get to that level. It's just like, you made that comment that just went over the line. Those kind of wines, maybe we should seriously consider putting them out with a beware sign. We might have to come up with something like the video game industry of like, beware of overfruit that may punch you in your face. So that's my thought on that. Let's move on. This was a wine we did not do yesterday. However, this is a wine that I want to talk to you about. So I'm going to get nice and cozy and tell you about this wine. This is the 2004 Chateau Lagay Pomerol. And this one is 91 to 94 points, Robert Parker. And it's $60 US. And it is really a very interesting story. This is the first vintage under Catherine, who has taken over this vineyard and control of it. And she is a unbelievable vineyard manager, property manager. She knows what's going on, and she's turning around this winery. I was blown away about a week or so ago when I had this wine. 13.5 alcohol content, predominantly Merlot-based wine. It was ridiculous. I had it with a filet. It was outrageous. I didn't even eat the mashed potatoes. That's how much I was into the wine, and mashed potatoes are my favorite. It is a remarkable bottle of wine for $60 or so, I thought. 91 and 94 Parker, which is a great, great score. And what I thought and liked about it was a great mix between the old school and the new school, kind of like Justin Timberlake, for example. So, really outrageous, great color for the area. Yeah, and it has it again. And this is probably the most intriguing part of this wine. It's loaded with real cinnamon flavors, like real cinnamon, like not the stuff, the powder, but like the sticks. And when you kind of scrape it, and it's loaded with coffee and mocha, lots of coffee and mocha. So really, the best way I can describe it is walking into a Starbucks in New York City. You get that blast of that nose. This is kind of that kind of nose, and it's very intriguing. This is why people love Bordeaux. This wine is explosive on the palate. Comes through with an enormous amount of sour cherry flavors. Great rigid structure all the way through. Phenomenal grip. It takes your palate, like ripping your tongue out. Like, think Tom and Jerry. Snip, and now it's got it. That's what it does. This wine takes your palate, and it takes hold of it. As a matter of fact, it probably puts a chain on it and wraps it around its neck and walks around and makes fun of you because it owns your palate. It does that. I'm still tasting the flavor profile. I'm still getting the sour cherry, a little bit of the earthy flavors, which make Bordeaux so great because it can still be compounded with tons of fruit. So you got new, you got old. It's really awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is tremendous structure, phenomenal grip, well-balanced, flavors that go on for days, an extremely long finish, and this wine is drinking beautifully right now. I mean, very approachable after 4 hours of breathing. The tannins are firm, and there's a bite on the finish, but if you drink red wine young, which every single person does in this country, basically, it won't bother you. However, the 30 to 40 year potential this wine has is shocking, humbling, and exciting. I score this wine 94 points easy every time. This is the third bottle I've had. I'm blown away by this effort. This is a wine I like, so for all of you who've been asking, there you go. Let's move on. Chateau Lynchbage 1996. So used to saying 2000. 1996 from the Puyak. $115 or so at current price. Was probably about $50 or $60 on futures. Hence why I've been screaming for everybody to buy 2005 futures. 94 points, Robert Parker. Lynch Baj is such a popular winery. It's outrageous. It's just such a big name. Everybody's huge fans of this wine, and I've been a big fan of it in the past. Again, a little lighter than the Legay. Hopefully you can get that through. Eric's agreeing. Just a little browner around the edges, if nothing else. 13% alcohol, 94 points Parker, and it smells like you just went 12 rounds with the champ. And you took off your jockstrap and you smelt it. That's what it smells like. Now imagine, in that jockstrap, you had a full salad in there while you were fighting the fight against the champ. Now, if you lasted 12 rounds, kudos to you. And more importantly, that's what this wine smells like. Like a jockstrap full of vegetables and salad. Even a little, hint of pepper. Real nice. It's real nice. Nice salad. Little squeeze of the lemon. Very dirty. This wine is very dirty with an underlining and under the radar hint of mint, which is quite nice, which I could not get yesterday, for sure. I'm not sure what I was getting yesterday at this point. Very sour and bitter flavor profile in this wine, which could really throw off a lot of people. But it's classic burnt wood, smoky sausage, hanging out with your friends, and at a fire, not a fireplace, at a barbecue, and just the smokiness in the air. Very sour cherry, like real sour. Soured pickle, soured vegetables even, when you do things like that, it reminds me of. It's got tremendous cedar box characteristics. It really does have a lot of tobacco going on. It's a well-structured wine, a lot of complexity, and very well-rounded. I'm actually going to go 91 plus on this. I think it went a little higher yesterday, but I might have been a little bit delusional. I'm 91 plus on this. I think Parker's too high at 94. It's a good bottle of wine. I think at $115, it's a tremendous pass at this point, especially with what I've been tasting out of 05's potential. I don't know. It's not killing me. It's got great structure. This wine will last another 10 years. It's a nice bottle of wine, but it's not spectacular, and it's not earth-changing, and it definitely didn't change my life, and so that's going to be a pass. Before I get into the last wine, I do want to talk about the link right above me. A lot of new people watching this show. Please don't miss out on the Vaniac t-shirt contest. Click the link above me, above the video, and we will be taking somebody to California with me. It's going to be awesome. I've been getting a lot of updates. What brought me to this was I got about 6 or 7 updates today that they've got some kick-ass stuff in the making. So it's going to be competitive. It's going to be awesome. But most importantly, I've been working on some of the details of the trip. It will be the trip to wine country of your life. So please enter. Check that out if you got any questions. I think Chris Mott's email's there. We're making Mott do a whole lot, aren't we? Ooh, wow, you're so athletic. I will whip you! All right. Little rinsey medinsey, as I like to call it. And let's get into this. This wine is interesting. Casanova di Neri, Tunta Nueva, 2001, Brunello di Montalcino, 97 points. Wine Spectator, $75 to $125 a bottle, if you can find it these days. Wine Spectator's Vino of the Year. Hey, Brunello, Wine of the Year. Really nice. It's about time. Really excited for them. Casanova di Neri, somebody we've carried for a long time, so good to see that as well. Tremendous color. Almost uncharacteristic of a Brunello. They tend to be a little bit lighter than this. Really dark. Great nose. Strawberries are coming through on this nose. Vanilla extract to the overwhelming degree. And you know, it's funny, when tasting this yesterday, it kind of reminded me a lot of the Casa Emma that we did the Chianti the other day, but I was freezing my nards off, so I'm not so sure if I remembered everything. I was just trying to get out of there at this point. But again, I'm smelling it, and once again, that vanilla extract, which was so heavy on the Emma, coming through on this as well. That's that good old-fashioned new oak. I'm getting strawberry. I'm getting a little hint of cranberry in here. A A little hint of that cedar box as well. Also a little menthol in here, almost like air freshener. Almost like that pine tree that when you open, the classic, not all the other flavors they came out with. So a little evergreen aspect coming through in the nose as well. If you're a big fan of Syrah and Colt California Cabernet, you're going to be a fan of this wine because it's very good, it's very structured, it's got a ton of fruit, it's very extracted, like crushed blackberries and raspberries with hints of like cinnamon and tons of vanilla extract. Very luscious, very fruity, and like super silky finish because there's so much going on there. However, not traditional or tasting like Brunello in my opinion at all. And so that makes this a very intriguing wine. Because if you're a traditionalist and you hope that all wines one day don't taste exactly the same, you may not love this wine. Because what I think this wine is representing is a change. And we continue to give wines like this in the American press accolades and pats on the back, like Barry Horowitz. And they're nice wines. They're delicious. And don't get me wrong. But the bigger question at task is, do we want the wine world to become one terroir? Do we want all wines, whether they're from New Zealand, India, China, Uruguay, Texas, or Trenton, to taste the same? And this wine to me really does not taste like Brunello and tastes like more of a New World fruit bomb. The acidity, there's just a little enough of Italian in there to make you know, but blind, this wine can trick a lot of people that know a lot about wine. And to me, the question at task is this. Is this wine a sign of the times? This wine just won Wine of the Year from Wine Spectator, the most powerful publication in the world. Don't get it twisted. And it'll be interesting to see where the wine world goes from here. I'm watching. Are you? Question of the day. Community question of the day. It's new, Eric. We've never done this. Community question of the day. First person who's actually watching this episode gets to ask it. Whoever the first person is to do question of the day, and now I need you to do question of the day and, bold it and title it so people recognize it. You get to ask the question of the day, and then everybody will answer, including me. Because you, with that much of me, we're changing the wine world, aren't we? Don't go! Because Eric saved my ass. First person to tell me what 5 plus 5 minus 5 minus 5 equals gets a free Vaniac t-shirt. Free swag! You know you love it! See you later.